All right, Shalom. Before I start, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham. Rakakorash, honors to the elders and apostles, our great millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Akwath, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity, and another video through the Spirit. Your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Some of y'all, I'm pretty sure you've seen the video, with Hassad, Big Head Hassad, and Remedial Razan from BOW, right, going over, going back and forth concerning the Lord's burial, the Passover, when he rose and all that. All that good stuff. The Elder Apostle Sahara went into it here. Elder Apostle Gabar, brothers and different elders have been going into it, right? I'm actually going to use a clip from the elder brother Yahawada out of Hawaii. He did a real quick, sweet, short video, and even Google helped answer it, right? The AI thing, showing you, properly, when you properly understand the Hebrew calendar, which is the true calendar of the earth, when Yahushua died, and the events concerning his crucifixion. It's not that deep. It's quite simple. And there now, for the most of it, Razan or Ratazan, whatever the fuck his name is, he was simply incorrect. Hassad was correct on a couple points, but there was something that both of them were incorrect on, because I guess Hassad, he had said, at a particular point in his video, as they were going back and forth, y'all, basically, the Passover itself, that day is a high holy day as well, right? That day is a Sabbath as well, right? It's a high holy day and a Sabbath. Remember, the Passover begins the 14th day of the month, making it the second Sabbath of the first month. So the Passover day is a Sabbath in and of itself. But let's start. Let's actually start with the Elder Yahawada's clip. This is a real good, real sweet, real short video. 9 minutes, visual timeline of the death of, visual timeline of Yahushua's arrest, crucifixion, death, and burial. I'm just going to fast forward really to the last minute. You can watch this whole thing. It'd be advised to. I'm going to let this last minute play. Then we'll go back and touch on some of the points between the two idiots as they were arguing, and Razan made himself to be the bigger fool. Man.
Right? Night. He prays in Gethsemane and it eats the sign. The 14th day begins at...
This is a visual timeline for you brothers who, when you're reading the scriptures, things may confuse you. The brother here brought up a visual timeline. The 14th day, right? They hold the feast. Yahushua speaking with everybody. Judas dips out, and the events start from there. So evening, Yahushua eats a Passover meal with the disciples. Night, he prays at the Garden of Gethsemane. He's betrayed by Judas. Early morning, he's taken to Pilate. So we're seeing this is remember, the Hebrew day starts at even. Matter of fact, let me take it back. Excuse me.
And so, he's backing it up with scriptures, and he's giving the same thing, Apostle, using that with the chat GPT. I typed it in the Bible, the day starts.
So right here.
At night, during Yahushua's last Passover, when he was arrested. Was it technically the beginning of the 15th day, since it was the 14th day at even? And it says, yes, you're correct. In the Bible, and I got this information from Apostle Gabar, which he got it from the scriptures, and then we followed along. It says, yes, you're correct. In the Bible, a day begins at even, not at night, not at midnight, or sunrise, like in modern Western culture. This is based on the pattern established in Genesis 1, where it repeatedly says, in the evening, in the morning, were the first day. It says now, Yahushua.
In the even, in the morning. Boom. So, and that guy, Razan, he has a real tore up understanding of when the day comes in properly. If you go watch that full video, unfortunately, right? I'm not going to play the whole 40 minutes. from Elder Apostle Sahar's video, you should know what's going on. But he has a misunderstanding of when the Hebrew day starts. So he's already thrown off. All right, and like our apostles always told us, y'all, you can't get 3 full days and nights between Friday to Sunday. It's not possible. If somebody died on a Friday, we're going Friday, Saturday, 1, Saturday, Sunday, 2, Sunday, Monday, 3. That's 3 full days, not Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's just not possible. It's just not fucking possible, y'all. So we know that the Passover night, Passover began at the even of the 14th. Now we're going to fast back forward. So they hold the feast, and the events begin to play out as the night progresses into the morning. Okay, yep.
He's taken to the high. It's still 14 to 20, right? Evening. Yahushua eats the Passover meal with the disciples. Luke 22, 14 to 20, right? Night. He prays in Gethsemane and is betrayed by Judas and arrested. The early morning is still the 14th. It's still the 14th day, right? It's like the ending of the 14th day because it's early morning. He's taken to the high priest, then to Pilate. Matthew 26, 57, 27, and 2. Morning to afternoon. He's mock trial, beaten, sentenced to death. Noon to 3 o'clock. He's crucified. Remember, it says that in Mark 15 to 25, John 19 to 14 and 16. 3 p.m. Yahushua dies, right? 3 p.m. Nisan, the 15th day, begins at sunset, the start of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It says late afternoon, still the 14th, because it's late in the afternoon. That was around 3 o'clock. He died. His body is taken down before the Sabbath starts, which is the evening, the 15th. He is buried before the sunset finishes. So there it is. So this is a biblical
timeline, right? And one of the key things, y'all, remember, Yahushua had to be buried before the sun went down. That's a key thing to remember when dealing with all this. So let me pull up one more thing, because he mentioned that Yahushua dies around 3 p.m. How do we know this? Right here in New Testament times, the first hour of the day, according to Jewish reckoning, begin at sunrise, which would be roughly 6 a.m. in modern time. Now remember, our days begin in even. When it says here the beginning of the day, not the start of the day, the beginning of daylight. In that part of the world, around what we call 6 a.m. now, right? That's the first hours of daylight. So if we're starting at 6 a.m., we have 6 hours later, what do we have? 12. 3 hours plus that, we have 3 p.m. This is how we know, around the time Yahushua died, right? It says a Jewish day was divided into 12 daytime hours, starting with sunrise. Therefore, the first hour of the daytime would be approximately 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. in our current time system, right? So remember, it's the daytime, daylight hours. Not the beginning of the day is 6 a.m., the beginning of the daytime, the daylight hours. So that's why when you read in the scriptures, it's the third hour of the day. What does that mean? So if it's the third hour of the day, 6 plus 3 equals what? 9 a.m. If it's the sixth hour of the day, 6 plus 6 equals what? 12 noon. If it's the ninth hour of the day, what's that? From 6 a.m., 9 hours later, 3 p.m. These are not hard things to understand if the Holy Spirit's dealing with you. But when you're being a young novice, lifted up with pride, not wanting to listen to anybody, you say dumb shit. So we come back here and we just see a bunch of blunders. We we see a bunch of blunders. So let me fast forward. This guy, he's gonna go on to say that, you know, Yahushua died on a Wednesday, just out of his fucking mind. Both of them, you know, they couldn't really agree on when the day starts. They couldn't agree, you know, just folly on both sides.
Going down to verse, so I'll just kind of skip to the.
What day? What time in the middle? You're talking about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Point, and that kind of saves time. In verse 43, it says, 46, that Joseph of Arimathea bought fine linen. So you say this is the Sabbaton. You agree then that Joseph of Arimathea bought fine linen on the Sabbaton?
Well, see, and this is what I'm saying.
You can't buy and sell on the Sabbath, the high holy day Sabbath, or the regular weekly Sabbath. You cannot buy or sell.
And if you're saying bought as in he bought it, and it could mean he had it and bought fine linen, which means I bought it with me because he had fine linen. See, that's an understanding thing. I don't think he broke the Sabbath though, for sure not.
Right. So in the text, let's just read it again. So I'm going to make sure that I understand and the audience
Because
understands.
it says, look, real quick, it says, and he brought fine linen and took him down and wrapped him in the linen. So
It doesn't say brought. Like,
from my perspective,
right, real quick, Radazan, it doesn't say, just because the audience, it doesn't say brought. It says bought, B-O-U-G-H-T. Bought.
Got you.
He
Go
bought,
ahead.
and
So, you know, they can't, they just going back and forth on little, you know, miscellaneous things. Just completely, both of them are just nincompoops. Both of them. Now, Razan is the bigger nincompoop, but Hassad is still a nincompoop too. This shit is silly, man. This shit is absolute joke. He died. Let me get this, y'all. Let me get this. Let's do this. Jonas sign. Make our life easier. Matthew 12 and 39. It says, but he answered and said unto them. Actually, I'll start at 38. Yep, it says, then certain of the scribes and Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given to it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. What was the sign of the prophet Jonas, y'all? For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in a whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. We know he was in that sepulcher for 3 full days and 3 full nights. So technically he rose going into what? The 4th day. And it makes all the sense in the world. If we just learned he died on the 14th before the even of the 15th. Now we count. A 1, a 2, a 3. Not that hard, right? 15, 16, 17. Rising up. Let's say, you know, we'll use the so-called weekly, with the calendar we have today, right? If he died on a Friday, there's no virtual way possible. He's rising on that Sunday. Friday, Saturday dead is 1 day. Saturday, Sunday dead is 2 days. Sunday, Monday dead 3 days. So rising going into technically Tuesday, right? Dead for a full 72 hours. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 3 days. And we didn't die. We're not saying he died on a Friday. I'm just using that so y'all can understand. He died on the 14th day. That's what matters. All right. This little situation really, you know, shows who. This shows the importance of having wise men over you, because when you're a young upstart, you don't have any overhead, so you're trying to figure all these things out on your own, and you can just simply be wrong. And that's what we're seeing here, a case of a young novice lifted up with pride. Both of them. All right, both of them. Hassan was right on a couple things, but he was wrong on a couple things as well. Both of them just don't got it.
That's not in the scriptures. That is not in the scriptures.
The
And I brought it to my house. Do you have any command of the English language? And niggas will say that. I bought it. I bought it. No, I brought it, meaning he went and paid for something.
and then
Get your English up, son.
the following Sabbath pursued, and then they rested to the following Sabbath. So this is actually after the Passover.
That's not in the scriptures. That is not in the scriptures. Why was he the lamb? He represented the Passover. He was born on the Passover, and he was, sacrificed, put on it. How was he didn't he become a sacrifice?
Yeah. So you see, I'm gonna fast forward. The guy, he's just all over the damn place.
2 weeks shall the Messiah be cut off. My understanding of
Then he's gonna go to quote this Daniel 9, which has absolutely nothing to do with the exact day that Yahushua died. Those events from, Daniel 9, was it 26 to 28? That's dealing with the 490 years from the laying of the foundation of the temple all the way to 70 AD, right? That's the focus of those events and the things that happen in between there, right? The arrival of the Messiah, his death, the Romans making a covenant of peace with us for a while, and then the events of 70 AD occurring, Titus, Vespasian, whooping our heads in, right? It has absolutely nothing to do with the Lord dying on a fucking Wednesday. Y'all about to hear this shit, man.
Daniel chapter 9. So, Salakia.
So you're privy to have your own understanding. This is how I explain it, and this is how he explains it.
Daniel chapter 9. Excuse me. So, Daniel chapter 9 and verse 27. It says, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, right? So let's read verse 26 for the context. And after 62 weeks shall the Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifices and oblations to cease. And for the overspreading of abomination, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation that are.
This is dealing with our temple being cut off, us no longer being able to sacrifice, right? The Romans came and ran down on us in 70 AD. This has nothing to do with what he's about to say that it is. Complete madness.
Determined shall be poured upon the desolate. So my understanding is that the Most High sends his son, Yahushua dies for us. In Luke chapter 21, he says once he gives up the ghost, or once he's betrayed, then the end will be like a flood. So directly after Christ's death, it says the oblation shall cease. We're at a period where we're not sacrificing anymore. The point is that his death will take place and the covenant will be confirmed in the midst of the week. So now that will be a Wednesday. So my understanding.
This guy's a fucking complete fucking idiot. Did you see that? Did you hear that?
All right, and the apostle is justifiably angry. This nigga said the midst of the week means a Wednesday. Dude, stop. Remember, that week, y'all, each week represents years in that Daniel 9. Remember, it said 70 weeks are determined upon thy people. 70 each week for 7 years. 70 times 70 is what? 490. 70 times 7 is 490, right? 7 times 70, 490. That week isn't talking about a literal 7-day week and the Messiah died on a Wednesday. What the hell is Jake talking about? And like he said, in my own understanding, that's the problem. Your own understanding. That's some of you niggas' problem. Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. That's that guy's problem, Razan. His own understanding has his stupid ass saying stupid shit. He didn't come up under wise and instructed elders. He's been Jimmy rigging and nigger rigging everything, and now we're seeing that he's substantially low in terms of his scriptural understanding. Yahushua was in the ground for 3 days and 3 nights. The reason why, because they were arguing over the burial, right? Says Joseph, Matthew 27:58, we know this is Joseph of Arimathea, says he went to Pilate and begged the body of Yahushua. Then Pilate commanded the body to be delivered. Why did he beg the body? Let's do this. Bingo, right here, Deuteronomy 21 and 23. It says, I'll start at 22. It says, and if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of the power, that thy land be not defiled, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. So Joseph was getting a hold of Yahushua's body before the sun went down. Remember, Yahushua died at the 9th hour of the day, around 3 p.m. So he still had several hours of working light to where he could get a hold of his body and bury it. And we know that this was all prophetic, because what does it say? And what is that? Galatians. Yahushua took on that curse for us, y'all. Galatians 3 and 13. It says, Mashiach hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree. We literally just read that. This precept goes back to that law in Deuteronomy. Yahushua had to die cursed for our sake. Nevertheless, Joseph hurried up and got his body buried before the sun went down. But these are all little simple things that are simple to us, y'all. Remember, hey, we have a blessing over here. Things that are 101 to us, the basics that you learn because of the strenuous system that we have here under our apostles. These guys never had any of that milk. These guys, the basic prophecies that we know like the back of our hand, they don't know them, period. To where he can jump in Daniel 9 and say some crazy shit like that. Hey man, so be grateful, man. This is just a real quick video, man. Hey, I'm happy I'm where I'm at. I'll tell you that. Let me give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem. Baruch honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim. Wa Akwa, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Shalom.